Another one.
It's happening. Welcome to another one podcast. We all right, Simon? You
Got to pull me Tory socks
once again, Simon's not ready, showing everyone his Tory white socks. We're joined this week. Got Phil Ellis' second appearance.
Hi everyone, Phil Ellis.
Phil Ellis from the viral clip from another one podcast.
Oh yeah, that one when I was really angry and sad.
And we've got Adam Rowe, star of everything, mostly Have a Wear podcast.
He's brought the merch.
He's brought his merch.
A few more jumpers.
I should have brought a Funs and Games t-shirt. It's really weathered and worn, and the G's falling off.
Why is it called another one? Have you answered this yet?
Yeah,
just because it's just another one.
It's another one.
It's just another fucking one.
Basically, we heard what you and Dan were making, and we were like, "Fuck me, we need to get some money."
Yeah. How's that going?
Terrible, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I paid 20 quid to come in. I was on the train going, what the fuck am I doing? I wouldn't do this for a gig.
Yeah, but like you said, what else are you going to do?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I could be sad.
Stops you being alone, doesn't it?
I mean,
Got one Copperberg in the fridge. It's the budget that works. Right? I'm going to pass it round.
Yeah, I am drinkless.
I know.
I can't hear myself out there. I don't think I can hear myself today.
It's for the best.
Yeah, phones aren't working. We don't both need them anyway.
All right, sound. Have you been anyway, Philip?
I've been all right, thanks. Yeah, I've been good. Nice week.
That was really jarring for me, actually, hearing him called Philip.
I know, yeah. I didn't like. I wondered you.
Is that on the birth certificate? Is that on the birth certificate, Philip?
Well, I assume so. Yeah, since it's my name, they don't just put Phil.
2 L's or 1 L?
2 L's. Like Schofield.
Is it?
He's
is
1
it
L
really though? Because on your social media, it's all 1 L.
That's because it's just Phil.
Yeah, because it's Phil. You don't do 2 L's.
You don't do 2 L's in Phil.
Yeah, but then when you give me your email, it's like, oh yeah, email me 2 L's though.
Yeah, because the 1 L had gone.
Oh right, so
that's why
fair
it's
enough.
2 L's and an M.
I didn't know.
And if you don't put the 2 L's, loads of emails keep going to an accountant in Leeds called Phil Ellis.
Well,
how's he getting on?
He's got a lot more work than me.
There's a fella who does the voiceover for a really famous Japanese anime thing called Adam Rowe. And if you go on like my stand-up videos on YouTube, all the comments are like, can't believe this guy manages to do the Japanese voice. And I don't know whether those comments are from that anime or from listening to Have a Wear.
It would be funny if they're all your Patreons. And when they find out, you just go, oh shit, it's the guy.
Yeah,
he start doing it.
He voices someone called Daisuke.
Yeah.
Or Daisuke. Yeah.
Have you ever tried watching it?
No.
Oh, you definitely should, just to see what his work is like.
I follow him on Twitter just to make sure he's not like taking anything that was meant for me.
Oh, in case he does in case he's doing what I do.
No, just in case like he retweets something like, "Oh, great to be invited to this thing today at Liverpool Football Club." I'll be like, "He's taking the fucking trip."
Yeah.
And he's flown over for it.
Yeah. Just sat next to Dan one day.
Did you say flown over? I think he's English. He's not Japanese. There's not a Japanese man called Adam Rowe.
R-O-E.
Well, I don't know. He might be an expatriate, and maybe he filmed. Maybe it records over there. So I thought maybe he's moved over there, and they've gone, let's make this show a bit more westernised. I just got some random Adam Rowe on. Oh. You see, what I like to do, obviously, there's a Rob Thomas who's the lead singer of Matchbox 20. There's also a Rob Thomas who's involved in comedy.
I know.
Not him. No, we'll speak about him. We'll talk about him in a minute. There's another Rob Thomas in America who wrote a hit comedy TV series. So there's fucking 2 of them in America, and there's one cunt over here as well.
Yeah, but it's
a comedian called Rob Thomas.
Rob Thomas.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what I
used to... You need to be like a dart player. You need Big Bobby T.
Well, that's why I give myself a nickname.
That's what you need.
You'd be good. You should play darts. I was watching darts. I was watching people. Yeah, there's that. But also, I was watching darts players have beef on stage.
Yeah,
like Adrian Lewis and Peter Wondart.
Yeah.
He's great, Peter Manley. Do you like the darts?
My favourite bit of darts is when
really. I've never really watched it properly.
The best bit is like when people are booing or like heckling a bit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And then the umpire, whatever the fuck his name is,
the referee,
the ref, yeah, whatever. Fucking bloke in a suit, and he goes, "Keep it down, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there's a very nice warm car park you could be stood in." And then everyone goes. Well said. He's fucking the smug look on his face. Fucking darts.
I don't know how they have beef. Like, I have seen the videos and stuff. I used to watch it.
I love a bit of beef in the darts.
Yeah, but like, I used to watch it a lot because my dad used to play darts a lot. We always had a dartboard in the house, like, growing up. But like, I like in footy, there's a bit of beef, like if a tackle's bad or like the referees miss something. In darts, it's not like they're jumping in each other's way.
If you take your time, get your arrows out the board. That's big. If you're hovering around the board, just taking them out the flow. That's massive.
I love the way you looked into how you can be.
Just sledging each other. Do you know what I mean? Behind each other, like cricket, like the wicket.
Did you see the one? I think it was with Adrian Lewis. Was it last year, the year before?
He's got beef with everyone. He's
when one of them got a cob on because he accused the other one of farting. He said he farted as I was trying to film me dart. The smell put me off.
Oh, I'd win the fucking PDC World Championship, mate.
That's just the best psych out ever. Just fucking.
That's dirty, though, isn't it?
Everyone in those rooms look like they fucking reek.
Yeah.
You're wrong, you know. Like fat men who go to the pub, they use like a full bottle of aftershave.
Oh, yeah.
Like they always smell lovely.
No, they don't. They're masking that they're not showering.
Yeah.
No,
we're disgusting.
No, we're masking that we're sweating.
Yeah.
That's what we're masking.
When you can smell someone's aftershave when you're not in the vicinity, that, you know, when they just, that like Paco Rabanne is just a thick smell of Paco Rabanne that you're not showering.
No, it's not washed. It's not they're not showering. It's because they're sweaty, and they're always paranoid as to whether the sweat smells. So
you jumped on then. You went. It's because you joined forces with all these fatties.
Well, I'm a fatty, aren't I?
I'm
a fatty who goes to the pub.
Yeah, but you are ashamed of it because you've already told us you've sat there for a reason for the angle of the camera.
Let's get into
you're
this.
Wearing black, so don't now pretend to be at one with your fat brethren because you're ashamed of your clan.
Are you trying to call me an Uncle Tom for fat people?
I think so. I don't know what that means, but
right.
Well, most fat people are ashamed of themselves. Like most of them.
Are they though?
Yeah. In fact, I'd go as far to say all of them.
It's getting a bit political, this, isn't it?
No, I'm not. I haven't got a problem with white people. My entire family. White people. That sounds like a really shit Doctor Who. The white people. Oh no, the white people.
I fucking hate them weighties.
Ironically, they can't wait for the next minute. But I have got a problem with a lot of my family are very overweight. I think be who you want to be.
Right.
Before we go any further, also, I've got no problem with anything.
Yeah, that is what most people believe. Be who you want to be. But fat people don't want to be fat people. They just can't help it. Yeah. Trust me. Yeah. This is from someone whose weight goes up and down constantly. I am disgusted with my body, and I'm just, and it's awful. And but you know what? I like food more than I hate the body. That's all it is. Yeah, that's all it is. And anyone who says any difference is lying to themselves and their followers.
I prefer a double sausage muffin more than I hate the little pouch I have underneath my belt.
But there's that one moment when you wake up and you're really upset about it.
Oh yeah,
and that's really low. Like them muffins give you a little bit of happy, but you're never overjoyed.
No,
at one muffin.
It's totally self-sabotage and long-term detrimental. Like when you put a t-shirt on. And it's just,
so sad.
Yeah, and you've had it on 40
that's why
and it's
I
meant
lost
to be a 30 and it's just a little bit up. Oh.
Do you mean what's going to happen to me this week, which is probably you'll see this in about 4 weeks' time or something. I put a pod out. I just got back from Benidorm, so obviously Simon had done fuck all for the week. So he's like, well, if he's away, I'm not bothering. So I hasn't booked any guests, nothing like that. So I come back.
Yeah, because I wanted to have you all to myself after that trip away.
Yeah, of course.
I wanted to have a proper catch up with you, lads. I share you with 2 guests.
So I come back from Benidorm. I'm hungover. I'm tired. I just put on whatever was clean. I'm sitting there the whole time, just fucking belly out like this. Just like that.
Tangoing.
Just tangoing. Not once did you tell me, you selfish prick.
Well, yeah, don't blame me. I was just, what do you want me to do? Going, what are you going to do?
Pull it down. Change the way I'm sitting.
What, like your mate did when you were scrapping in Subway? I was going to be sitting here doing this to you the whole show.
Yeah. Put a sheet on you like you're dead.
You have to get a cushion in front of you or something.
I would have put a cushion in front of you if you told me.
Well, that's happened now, and I think it's quite charming.
Worse.
Yeah, like a little Nan sitting there, covering your pouch. I think it looks charming anyway.
Charming.
You know, I think it works. You know, as we talk about Benidorm and lads' holidays, you're sitting there with your belly out,
like a fucking disgrace,
and then you're on the Daily Mail and everything.
Should just put a whistle in it. I don't know, something to do with Benidorm. Night clubbing. Whistles. Why don't you write to us? What did that mean?
Oh, it was a good attempt, Phil.
No, I think
there's
shoving stuff in a belly button.
The signs of a man who's never been on a lad's holiday there.
I haven't been on holiday for 16 years. I went to Benidorm for 2 nights.
How was that?
How long were you meant to go for?
It was just for 2, not to name drop, but my friend Johnny flew me. He was filming Benidorm.
Michael.
And he flew me out for 2 nights to work on something.
And did you?
And it rained, and then I just went home. And I went to Primark especially and got loads of flip-flops and stuff. And
loads of flip-flops?
Loads of flip-flops.
I'm ready, Johnny. I've got 27 pairs of flip-flops.
Is this enough?
I've got me day flops, me night flops.
I've got 25 dolphins inflatable ones coming. What more do I need? But that was last time I went abroad, yeah.
No.
I didn't go abroad much as a child, so I've only just started going abroad the past few years. And then
where were
managed
your
to go to
holidays?
Berlin twice in a year. Like, I've been to 4 places and 2 of them are Berlin.
What were your childhood holidays then?
Rill and Prestatyn.
Just down the road?
Yeah, and the street. Like my street. Yeah,
Real Prestatyn, I mean Nans.
Yeah, we just didn't ever go abroad. We just, my mum and dad just never had any fucking money. And when they did have it, they spent it on more vodka. Like, we just didn't go. And then I've started going the past few years. And I was shit scared of flying because of it.
Yeah.
Because you've never been on a plane.
I just think you need to get used to it, do you know what I mean?
Right.
You're not trained at all. And then when your sort of first exposure to flight is as an adult and you can fucking think about what's going on, it's actually terrifying when you haven't just got used to it. Oh, you get on the thing and it takes you where you're going. When you're actually looking at like the fucking wings and like,
how's that getting in the air?
Yeah.
Should have gone to the arcade and played some of those old games like Afterburner on the planes.
I still don't know how it works to this day. Like flight.
Catches the air, doesn't it? And lifts it. I shouldn't be talking about flight, but
Why
I'll have a
are
go.
you trying to explain
No, but as it
anything?
goes, doesn't it catch the air and then it lifts it up and then it...
How? That's what I mean. I know that like it's sort of, yeah.
No, I think what you just explained is a kite.
That's basically, yeah, I'll go with
You
that.
think a plane works the same as a kite?
Yeah, it catches the air and then it lifts it up.
Why would it
and
have propellers?
to push it forward.
Yeah, but you don't have people on the runway running with it, do you? Get off you. Have a good time in Benidorm. Oh, fuck it.
No, I've never really bothered looking into. I've never been scared of it. I think you're going on it. You fuck it. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, because you've gone on as a kid, same as me. That's why. That's what he's trying to say.
Do you reckon that matters?
Yeah, it's the same reason that like people don't just magically become religious normally when they're adults. Because they go, hang on, no, none of that makes fucking sense.
I was saying
Unless
this about
you've done something awful.
Going,
unless you need a reason to become religious.
Yeah, but when I was saying when I was going down to get surgery and that, and you get put to sleep, it's the same as that. It's like it's whatever's going to happen is going to happen. If I get put down now and I don't wake up, it's happening, doesn't? So I think it's similar to being put to sleep for an operation. It's just like, yeah, it's out of my control. Let's just do what you.
Yeah, see, I'm the total opposite of that. Like I
You wanna
genuinely,
control
I've got no experience. I've never like looked into like being anything to do with like in flight, but I would, even though I'm not qualified, I would feel more comfortable flying if I was the pilot.
Right, okay.
just because it's in my hands.
Just being able to sit in the cockpit. I just want to watch what you're
see,
doing to make sure you're doing it properly.
I'd be more inclined to work out how I'm going to survive the crash landing and thinking just as it hits, I'm going to do the jump. And then and then I'll be fine working out how I'm going to survive the crash landing.
And then you start playing Lost in your head.
I don't know. I'll never die in a plane crash.
I heard a conspiracy. You know, like they make you put your seatbelt on a plane, which is obviously like insane.
Yeah.
Like, so stupid.
Switch the smallest belt.
I heard it's so that
as it's going down, get your belt on.
Like, it's so it keeps you in your seat, so they know who was sat in that seat, so they know how to identify that body.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the chat.
Have you seen the film Flight, the Denzel Washington one? Yeah, great film.
It's great.
But it's when you don't put your seatbelt in, they turn and they flip it, and then she cracks her head open on the thing.
Yeah.
So
right.
you
So you think that when the plane's going down, the seatbelts lock? And they go like, "You can't get out now."
Saying put it on, so when you hit the ground and die, they know whose body's whose and what seat.
He's like, "That's 27C. That was John Robertson."
Right. Sorry, John.
Shout out John Robertson out there.
Yeah.
I don't. Surely the crash landing would dislodge you from your seat.
I don't think it's a perfect system.
It's not. I don't think it's perfect. And I heard another thing, which was...
I don't think anybody gives a shit. I think they just make it up. They just turn up at this absolute fucking wreck in the middle of the ocean and go, "Oh yeah, just say that this guy died."
Yeah, they're all dead.
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah, all of them.
The brace position is apparently to the brace position
kill you
to snap your neck
and kill you instantly,
so that they don't get any insurance claims from people who just about survive.
So you
insurance claims? I thought it was so you weren't in pain. That's no insurance claim.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying that everything the plane safety is just designed to kill you and make you unidentifiable.
Yeah, but they'd have to still pay insurance to the families anyway, wouldn't they?
No, apparently not.
Not Ryanair.
If
you have to pay them.
I'm going to be honest
for the funeral.
Yeah, you're on the
I'm going to be honest, Phil. Here's as far as my research into this went. Someone told me it. And I like the idea of it, so that sounds repeated it forever.
I was going to say, what have you been talking?
Sounds about right, that, yeah.
There's loads of conspiracy theorists that are in comedy at the minute, particularly
great.
since this. I love it. It's just, they've all gone in fucking insane.
I love a conspiracy theory, but it's getting too much now.
I want them all to be real because the world's more interesting if they are. It's like I don't necessarily, I like telling people I believe them because I like watching their heads fall. I don't really. I mean, the Pizzagate one's real, obviously, but apart from that, like, I think,
What's Pizzagate?
There's a pizza gaff in Washington, D.C., and if you go in and ask for the specific pizza, they take you downstairs and let you bum some kids.
Oh, my God.
Did you not know about that?
I thought you were going to say they had an offer on or something. I mean, they have, I suppose.
You get 3 pizzas for the price of 1 if you go in there.
Yeah. Isn't it called like Galactic Pizza or something like that?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Yeah, it was like it had a dead cool space name. Yeah. And you went in and certain pizzas meant you were ordering certain children. And then the same thing was happening. It wasn't DFS, but like say the American
DFS.
Say the
you go in and pay full price for the sofa.
Yeah.
No son's
the deal.
So is this one full price? Follow me to the warehouse.
So the American
Niall, get your keks down.
The American version of DFS. For a while, there was a conspiracy. All their furniture was named
Wayfair
after kids.
You mean Wayfair?
Wayfair, then.
Yeah, I know this
All
one.
their furniture was named after kids that have gone missing.
Shout out Wayfair.
So they had like wardrobes for 60 grand. And if you bought a Jennifer wardrobe for 60 grand, you were buying Jennifer, the kid who'd gone missing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on at IKEA then with blurs? What have I bought?
Hemners.
I bought loads of
He's some Argentinian child. For 100 quid TV stand.
Yeah. If I order a certain futon, am I going to get some Swedish kids there? Anyway, it's not very practical, but come in.
What it is with IKEA, if you pay for them to put it up, they bring the kid. They don't bring the furniture, they just bring a kid. Yeah. That's why no one could.
Oh, I don't want these things. I mean the ones about everyone being lizards. I don't want all these fucking paedophile rings.
No, but it's the lizards that are doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're the ones in charge of it.
It's all so good. There's never any nice conspiracies, though, is there? Like,
Well, it wouldn't need to be a conspiracy if it was nice.
Well, it'd be nice.
They're getting away with shit, innit?
I don't know that everyone in
that these kids are all fine.
In the Tory government like puppies. I don't know. I can't think of a nice.
Oh, Hitler liked puppies, didn't he? Was that a conspiracy or not?
He did, and cake.
You like cake?
He bloody loved cake. Yeah, especially in the last days. He was panicking.
Don't get him started on the war. He's a fucking joke. He's outrageous. Just as before we carry on, he's a sociopath. And
sociopath.
No, right, listen, I rang him up, and within 5 minutes, he said, "Oh, I really like World War II." And then he spoke to me for 35 minutes. I didn't say a word. I muted him. I sent some invoices. I had something to eat. I went to the toilet. He's there. He spoke about Stalingrad for 35 minutes without me even saying anything. Then you sent me a video clip of you performing stand-up, and then you said, "I'm tired. I'm going to bed."
That sounds about right. No. He rings me, right? 1 a.m. Is it a good time to call now, mate?
I didn't want to ring it when it's inconvenient for you.
So the other night I said you got 5 minutes. He was on for 45. And the way he talks, have you ever had a conversation with Simon?
Yeah.
It's horrific. We were talking about this. So I'll go, he said, so what have you been up to? And I go, I went to the shops yesterday and I bought some ham and then I went home and made a sandwich.
This conversation in your GCSE French.
Yeah. I say it in French.
Don's the little.
The sad thing is, my life isn't even that interesting. And then he'll go, "Oh right, so you went to the shop and you bought ham."
What shop was it?
What shop was it? And I go, "It doesn't matter. I just bought some ham." Go, right, so let me just get this straight.
Yeah, I need to know
you
details,
went to the
mate.
shop on your feet. You go, "Yeah, you bought ham. Did you pay with cash?" No, I used a card. Right, okay. So you've walked to the shop. You bought ham. You've paid with a card. Did you walk home? I go, yeah, of course I walked home. All right. So, okay. So you went to the shop. You bought some ham. That's what it's like. It goes on for an hour. Takes an hour.
That is what you're like.
Yeah, I know.
I watched back our podcast, the one me and you are on before it comes out tomorrow. And I was telling a story from Benidorm and you went, so is this the first day? And I'm going, no, it's the second day. Okay, so what did you do the first? So you're in the second.
I don't really
listen
day now,
very
well.
The second day. It's like,
I'm not a great listener.
It's just a story.
It's like when Columbo's fucking with people at the end, trying to get him to confess. It's like you're trying to find a little hole in my story.
All right, then I'll try and not ask questions as much.
That's good.
It's sort of scene last night, right? We spoke about it today on our show. So
what show? You got a show, yeah?
Got a show. It's called Have a Word. The Hitler thing you mentioned before, right?
Yeah.
So
which one? Which one?
Right.
Which part? Which Hitler one?
Just the fact that he was brought up, right? So sometimes people will give you like a thing where it's like, if you could time travel, what would you
kill baby Hitler?
Would you kill baby Hitler? Or like people will say, if I could go back in time and do one thing, it'd be kill Hitler, right? As a baby. So if that happened, to us in our era, that person's a hero because they've gone back in time and killed baby Hitler and stopped all the atrocities. But to the people in Hitler's time, someone's just turned up and killed a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They don't know what he's going to become yet. Right?
Is your next question, would you go to prison for killing a baby or save 6 million Jews?
No. Here's the thing. So someone said, what if time travel has actually been invented and everyone who's just like randomly killed children in history, they've actually come back from the future?
Not a bad defense. I was thinking that myself. I was thinking, as soon as you said that,
we all think they're assholes, but they're actually fucking...
Shout out Jeff Dahmer. He wasn't a child killer, though, was he?
John Wayne Gacy was the bravest man I ever...
Fred and Rose West.
Surely...
They were child killers.
But surely, if you'd only do one, you wouldn't be a serial killer, like... What's the odds on every evil person coming?
What if they could only
make
one time machine and we're like, look, you're gonna have to do them all?
It'll probably be just insanity in it then, and then you get away with it. Go, this man is insane. He thinks he's doing God's work by killing these newborns.
Why people invented the time machine? You can only go backwards. Why is no one like getting back in it and coming back to the world?
So what you doing because none of us know what the world is forward, do we? So we can't go. What would you do?
But what he said is everyone who's gone back has been a hero. And they were all just killing evil kids. Why have none of them got back in the machine and gone forward? Who's getting the machine that can only go backwards?
Yeah, but...
And why are the only good people that have the time machine? What if some evil people went, what if actually they do exist, but someone went, hey, I'd love to go back in time and make Hitler? That's just what happened. And Hitler was a lovely lad, having a great time.
What if it turned out Hitler was great?
And they'll go, that's a lovely painting, but... Oh, if a Jew came over and ruined it, wouldn't it? Like, oh, that's a good point.
Someone went back and just
worried about that. This nice man is then led on a horrible journey and just becomes the leader of the Third Reich.
Hitler was great till someone come back in time and shot off one of his balls, and then he turned to a right bastard.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know. Obviously, when he's like 6, 7, and 8, he's probably not thinking about the Holocaust then, was he? So it's interesting to know what the event was when he went, oh, fuck off. And he lost it.
It's because he was in World War One.
Here we go. Come on.
Cross. And,
yes. And
he was just a very angry, bitter, and as Germany was then, it was turned into a deep depression.
Are you a proper war nonce, yeah?
Oh, yeah, he is, yeah. That's it. We can all shut up shop now for the next 30 minutes, do we?
I mentioned this last time, but this is my... Norm MacDonald said something really funny about it. When he said, when if you go back and kill Hitler as a kid, he goes, I'd just be worried that I'd just fall under the trance of him, Like, I'd just look into his baby eyes and go, God, he's just so fucking engaging, this man. Just become a fan.
The thing is, what I always get with this, like, when people go, we go back and kill Hitler, why don't you just go back and raise him? Just, like, take him off his mark, make him a better person.
Yeah.
Why has no one got any confidence in their own parenting ability?
Well, it might not be that. It's just that what was the event that happened? You know, did he just think, oh, I'm
series of events?
You know.
But they did that brilliant film.
Look, I'm starting.
But they did a
series of events, Simon. Series of events.
Come on, he
There's
knows
a great
it all.
film called Downfall, German film about the last few days of Hitler in the bunker. It's a brilliant film. And then everyone got very angry because they all went, "Oh, but you've humanized Hitler. You've made him a guy who's quite nice to kids." And I went. And everyone went, yeah, but it wasn't like he didn't walk around with horns going, it's too evil. And that's the problem. We all think this evil child sat there. And it's not. People just become bad.
What a great guy he was
born
then.
Bad.
Misunderstood.
No, that's not I'm saying he was bad, but he wasn't born bad, was he?
I don't know.
Things happen.
That's what I mean. Do you know what happened to him?
Not Rosemary's fucking Baby, is it?
Do you like the idea that he was just born evil?
No, I don't think anyone's born evil, are they?
I don't know, I'm asking you.
It's like when people blame the background for why they're a cunt. It's like, really? Because like my dad had a really bad, he was an orphan and everything, and he's a great guy. Yes, he's shot baboons, and yes, he did beat a shark to death with a hammer once, but he's a good man. You lead your own, you make your own way.
It was a tough day in the zoo, wasn't it?
It was. It's a horrific story. I'll never tell it. But yeah, you just I don't know. But life, obviously.
Well, I watched an interview with a serial killer called Richard Klinski, the Iceman, he was called. And then some psychologist said something about how like F1 drivers have a similar thing to what serial killers have. It's just how they harness that. The upbringing will affect which way they go. So they're both fearless.
Right.
So like they're fearless in so much as the way they act is like this Klinski fella didn't give a fuck about killing people.
Here comes Ed Gein on the right side. He's taking over Dharma.
Yeah, so there's one story that, because they were asking him how he felt about what he did to this. One of this mafia boss wanted this guy to suffer. So they said, we want him to die a horrible death. So, all right, sound. So he bundled him up in a car, went into a cave, tied him up, and put a video camera
smile on your face while you're telling this story.
Put a video camera on this guy.
Yeah.
And basically just filmed him being eaten by rats over a period of weeks. And that was the way he killed him. And then the guy was interviewing him, how do you feel about the fact he was like, nothing. He just didn't feel anything towards it. He was just like that. And then the guy was saying basically like he's fearless in so much as like he's just not bothered, but it's gone the wrong way.
Sometimes I have a worry that I'm a psychopath. Because I feel like that about
but then a psychopath animals. Wouldn't be worried about that.
About animals?
Yeah, I genuinely could not care less about any animal ever.
Yeah, that's a standard one though, isn't it? When the kids just harm an animal, swinging a cat into a wall.
No, but I would never do that. But you told me that story, I wouldn't suddenly feel sorry for the cat. I just do not care about animals.
That's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it's weird. That's how psychos start, isn't it? Stab a cat.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would never hurt. I would never hurt an animal, but I also do not care.
You tell me there's
when an animal gets hurt.
If you ran over a cat, you'd feel no guilt.
No, I've ran over 3 cats
on purpose.
No. Always accident.
I told you about the taxi driver, right?
Yeah.
Who went on the radio after running the rabbit over and went, taxi driver 1, rabbit 0. And I was like, this guy's nuts.
Yeah. I was telling a friend I'd run over because I'd driving back from gigs and things, obviously you hit someone. I used to live in Cheshire, so you've got no little control. You hit stuff, don't you? You don't want to. Hedgehogs are my favourite, but as soon as you run over a hedgehog, you go, oh, and you just hear it flump. And I was saying, oh, God, I've killed a hedgehog, a rabbit, a cat, which was awful. I went looking for it. I went a badger. And my friend honestly went, all at the same time. We fucking plough through the animals of farthing wood.
While they're all crossing the road together.
Yes, I did like a Disney film. I just fucking.
I ran over a cat once on a main road. I had a fare in, so I carried on the fare, dropped it off. I was driving back past it, and these 3 students who were finishing the night out, pissed, had gone and picked it up in the middle of the road, and who'd holding it, covered in blood. And I was like, "He's all right." And they're like, "Yeah, this poor cat's been run over." I was like, "Oh no!" And just carried on driving.
Oh no!
Yeah. Just but it wasn't my fault. I didn't the cat ran in the middle of the road.
Right? Yeah. That's.
I feel like I'm coming across terribly on this podcast now, which is my podcast. So.
I don't know. Apparently, I love Hitler, which I do not. Bad guy.
No, I don't feel it. If I ran over a cat, I think I'd be a bit. I don't know what I'd do. I think if
would you stop? No, that's a no.
Yeah, because I would
stop, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You like animals, you'd stop.
And do what?
What?
What would you do?
See if it's got a collar or something. Give them a bell.
Would you tell them? Listen, I've just killed your cat.
Yeah.
Would you?
What would you do if it was like?
Surely that's more psychopathic than me leaving.
No, I wouldn't like. It wouldn't be like.
Hey, look, gotta send it the collar in the post covered in blood, is it?
Hey, love.
Selfies.
Listen, why don't you know where your cat is right now?
I'd just be like, look, your cat's dead.
Cat's gone.
Yeah, cat's dead. Look, I wish I could have saved it, but it's dead. So
I was texting. I didn't see it.
Like, here's where it is. If you want to come,
you
and
wouldn't
get
drop it off. You would not get any car there.
If I'm driving, I'm probably on the way to a gig. I'm already late. I'm like, look, love, I've got nothing. I'm just a tonic in 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's
You're
what
gonna
I'd
have to
be
come
like.
and get your cat. Like, I would tell them if it had a collar, I'd absolutely tell them. Yeah.
What would you do if you'd run over the cat and bits are hanging out and it's like going, kill me, and you can tell.
Run it back over.
Would you?
I'd be gutted that I've killed a talking cat.
Yeah.
The money you'd have made with that cat.
Garfield.
Yeah.
But if you could see,
Imagine that for a guest on Have a Word.
It's just begging for death. Would you?
Yeah, I'd kill it. Yeah. Because I think that's the most humane thing to do.
Yeah.
Is to just get a brick and cave its head in.
Oh, you wouldn't just run over it again?
No.
You'd cave its head in with a brick.
So rather than getting your car, just drive over its head.
There's just
you go looking for
video
a
of
brick.
him just kicking this cat to death and ringing its owner going, your cat's dead. I'm really sorry. I couldn't save it, but I just thought it was best to just stomp its fucking head in.
Listen, do you want this brick with it or not?
Yeah, like, you'd feel, like, I'd feel horrendous about it, but you'd just want it to be over as soon as possible.
I think I'd just suppress the memory and just drive on and like it never happened.
That's exactly what I did.
I'd be too upset to see the pain that I've caused this family that I've now ringing them up.
And they'd have me number. Them.
No, but what, you're gonna ring them up? Yeah, but then you'd ringing them and just going, your cat's dead. It's on this road. Yeah. See you later.
He's had them on WhatsApp. Look at the profile picture.
I'm not going the funeral.
See, they're fit. If they're not fit, I'm not ringing them.
Adam would like to say a few words. Really awkward speech about the cat.
Yeah, I'd just ring them and let them know. Be like, look,
that's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd do. I think I'd just move on.
Yeah. Well,
let's move on.
When I done it, I've only really knocked over one cat. The 3 cats was a brag.
Oh, I look at him now, fucking shithouse.
But when I done it, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you just got to leave.
Imagine ringing someone at 3 o'clock in the morning. Listen, cat's dead.
What'd you do if you hit a human?
Look for a collar.
I have
rob his wallet and just.
I've hit one human once.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I was driving out to this junction, and this fella was walking down, and he was walking down towards the lights. So he showed no indication that he was going to cross the road. And you got to like drive past the roads that are going one way. You want to go right, say the road's going left.
Yeah.
So I'm to go over 2 lanes to go into that lane. So I've looked, nothing's coming. Turned right into the road, and he decided just cross the road at that point because he'd looked but hadn't looked at me. So as I come into the road, he was just there, and I've just gone and hit him. And it was a Somali fella. He just fell over and hurt himself.
Oh,
he hurt himself. You ran him over. Yeah. He hurt himself.
He hurt himself on the floor. Him and that floor had a fallen
Did
out.
anyone see it?
What?
Was it like?
I had someone in the back again.
So what? Did you get out and help him up, or did you just get?
Yeah, well, of course I got out and helped him. Called an ambulance for him. Some police turned up, cut the road off and all that. Police said, he admitted like he hadn't looked properly. He just saw an empty road and went for it.
Okay,
and like I said, well, I did look, but he showed no indication of crossing and all that. And then and then
what else have you done?
And the worst part of that story, the second part of it.
You saw him.
No, he was dead nice to me. He was lovely. I helped him out. He was like, "Oh, you're great, mate. Thanks for everything you've done and all that. Honestly, no, don't worry about it. It was my fault. Blah 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 blah. Don't worry about it." And then like two weeks later, basically the police officer told us his kids had got into him. Like when he got home, his kids got into him, go and make a claim. And he's like, "I don't need to." And his kids had convinced him to make a claim. And I obviously shit myself at my taxi insurance turning up, going up to I. So I went to his house. I went to, well, he was lived in a care home. I went to his, I went to his elderly home to knock on his door to go, why are you doing that, mate? Like, you told me everything was great. And then he got dead scared because I'd turned up at his house.
Care home.
And like, care home. And just like, leave me alone and that. So I did. I wasn't like going to bully him. But then like, just like this story's got worse and worse.
Cat killing.
So what happened?
Yeah, what happened?
What happened?
He made the claim, got a lecky scooter out of it, and my insurance went up by 500 quid a year.
Fucking rat.
That's what pisses me off. It's like, because one, it was weird you went to the old people's home trying to intimidate an old man.
How did you know what home he was in?
Yeah.
King of Bootle, Anna.
My God. But
he told me he was in that home, and someone in the home told me where he lived. Like, how people are thick, aren't they? So I bounced in the home going, oh, do you know where so-and-so is? And they go, oh, yeah, he's number 48A. So I just bounced up to 48A. It's all weird. Well, I just thought I could go and like go, I helped you out, mate. Like, you're going to put me out of business and all that. And he just got dead scared because he obviously felt guilty about it. It was all his kids' fucking fault.
I think stuff like that, when people think that if you actually went and spoke to them properly, they probably go, oh, yeah, fair enough. But families and...
Well, that's what I went to do. And like he said to me,
lawyers get involved.
I'm not claiming it was my fault. And then his kids had obviously gone, fucking hell, Dad, there's like a little holiday there for us there.
Rob turning up with the cat. This is what you could have won.
Yeah.
It's got to be in you, lad.
That's got a collar. I know where she lives.
That's one of fucking
but she's
three.
outside you.
That's the good one. That's the good pelt, that.
Just putting the cat in the bed with him.
So what would you do, Phil, if you ran over a cat? A cat.
If I ran over a cat?
That had a collar on.
I have run over a cat.
Would have a collar on with a number.
No, but I couldn't find it. It crawled off somewhere to die, but I was looking for it, you know.
How slow were you if a cat could crawl off after you've hit it?
You ran a cat over.
Yeah.
And it was still faster
than you. Immediately was like, into the bushes.
Well, I hit it.
Would have died with a bit of dignity.
But I went looking for it. But I didn't look that much. But I was like, ugh.
Did you wind your window down? Is that as much?
Well, when I killed a badger, it was fucking horrific. It was like middle of the night. It's like, I know what you did last summer. It's like, it just went, I was in a Cinquecento driving it down, and then it's just badger. And funny enough, in the day, I'd been driving, and I was like, and I said to my partner, I went, never see any good wildlife, do it? It's always just fucking rabbits. Then on the way back, I went, badger! And it was a really shit, manky one had come out, and he's like,
I think they're all like that, really.
Buff right in the middle. And it cost 500 quid for the radiator to be done. But I thought there was blood everywhere because it was like with fog and everything. But it crawled off somewhere to die. So I hope at least I gave it brain damage. 500 quid. I hope it had no quality of life if it did live.
Got me fucking money's worth out of that badger.
Fucking screaming at Ratty and Moley. Get the fuck out. But no,
how was the Apollo record? Are we allowed to talk about that?
Such a weird turn.
Yeah. So dead badges.
Dead badges, yeah, fine.
It's a good
how it roll. It's how it roll. So we've gone on from cat killing. Now we talk about the Apollo.
Killing, isn't there? Yeah.
Fucking hell.
There's a lot of,
Did you kill it at the Apollo?
There you go. There's your segue.
Funny enough, that cat I ran over was called the Apollo. So
it was great. So I wrote a routine. So it's going to go out on the 15th of December. So I imagine this will be out before that. So do watch it if you are into your comedy. I wrote a routine specifically for it about GPs, receptionists, and going to the doctor.
Oh, yeah, you did it at Customs House, didn't you?
Yeah. So that routine sort of I got it properly ready, and I did as a backup me Victoria's Secret trans and fat model routine.
So how long did you film for?
So you're meant to do 20, but you're told 25 is acceptable.
Right.
And I did like 27.
Yeah.
I was on last though. There was no one after me. But the doctor routine was like 16 minutes, and they do two
Big gamble.
Huh?
Big gamble, innit?
Well, it just became that long through writing it and adding ad-libs and extras in. So they do two edits for Live at the Apollo. There's a 7-minute edit and a 12. And basically, my agent rang me last week and was like, they can't get that routine into either of the edits because it's too long, and he doesn't want to butcher it.
Did they not tell you that before you did it? That
Well, he'd seen it like a month before it had become that long. So when he first seen it, it was like 14 minutes, and you can get that down to 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it become too. And I'll be honest, so they're using the Victoria's Secret routine, which I've already put out on my. So my people who are like fans of my stuff, I've already seen what's going to be on the Apollo, which I didn't want. The reason I wrote a new routine for it, because in my head I was like, I want people who like me to watch it and get something new from it. but they're not going to get that now. But I'm happy with it. Like the Victoria's Secret routine went really well, and what I'm really happy with, the doctor routine is now about 20 to 22 minutes in its full length.
Still do it,
and I've got a third of a tour show ready to go.
Right.
But everyone, so none of it is none of that routine is in the. No. So how long? So it'll be what? So it's still like, is it about 12? Do you say 12 minutes?
12, yeah, 12 minutes and 7 minutes.
So there won't be much cut out from, because I started with my old Primark jacket joke, and my homeless bit. So that's the first 2 or 3 minutes. Right. And then the other bit is about Victoria's Secret.
The Victoria's Secret bit is brilliant though. So you're not sort of happy that like some of your best bit gets out there. Like not that your doctor's bit isn't good, but you know what I mean. It's like with me, if there's any bit to go out, you probably want to be the bread bit. You know what I mean? Because like
the only concern I've got is the Victoria's Secret routine. For those, you can go and watch it if you want. It's already on YouTube on the Club Comics, and it's on its own video on YouTube as well. Yeah. You can find it on my channel. My only concern with it, and this was always my concern with, because I was told I was doing the Apollo last year, but then it got cancelled because of COVID, and I was always like, well, I've got to do that routine because it's the best thing I've ever written.
Yeah.
But every sentence is important.
Yeah.
And I've already had to I did a different podcast recently where I was sort of like grilled on it, because it's about Victoria's Secret saying they'll never have a fat model or a transgender model.
Yeah.
And it's me sort of defending their
position.
Yeah. In as funny as way as possible. And it's written in a way, so there's so much fat shaming in it, and I'm fat. And there's loads of it, I've done everything I possibly can. And I truly believe that it's not transphobic at all.
Yeah.
Because of the way I've written it.
Yeah.
But it needs a lot of the fat stuff for that to hold.
You need to
hold true.
Yeah.
And I already know of a couple of the fat things that are coming out. Because they've had to take it out because it didn't get past the lawyers.
Right.
So.
Them pesky lawyers.
I probably won't see the edit until it goes on BBC One.
Right.
In December. So we'll see. I would imagine that there's going to be a bit of the old Twitter shouting about it, and that's my only concern.
Right.
That's not bad. It's not bad. So that night, is it set up with just compare 3 acts or 2?
Comparing 2 acts, but they record 2 shows on the same night.
Right.
So the first show was Chris McCausland hosted, and they had Sophie Duca and Emmanuel Sanubi, and then my show was Jen Brister hosted, and it was me and Esther Manito.
It's tell them, I don't know if you've heard this story, and I know it's been on Other Words, but tell them what happened with the doctor's surgery bit when they had to go and ask Carl and that.
So the doctor's surgery bit is about the receptionist at my local medical centre called Hornsby Medical Centre, and her name is Janice. So I'm on stage doing the bit. So what I didn't realise, well, what happened was I come off stage, and Anthony, who creates the show, it's his show, and he books the acts and he curates it. He runs straight up to me in the wings and he goes, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. He goes, is Janice fucking real? And I went, well, sort of, yeah. And he went, is Janice her name? I went, oh, no. Oh, I don't know, but no. And he went, right, is Hornsby Medical Centre the name of the medical centre? And I went, yeah. And he went, go back on stage. So I had to go on and do a pickup. And I spent, he went, just go on and say hello. It's Janice from the medical centre. And I did it for 10 minutes. Just, hello, it's Janice here, medical centre. And it just got more and more ridiculous and more laughs. So I actually was on stage for about 40 minutes.
Right. Yeah, doing a pickup weird.
You're on-called in one line.
Apparently it happens like sort of 2 or 3 times a series.
I did a pickup with that Sky thing I did because I wanted to experience what it would be like. It's fucking horrible. I hated it.
It wasn't horrible though, because the audience were...
I'd
had a great set. Like everyone had a great night that night. Right. Yeah. But I was also the last one on, and Jen goes back on to close the show and she goes, we've got to do a pickup. I wonder who it's going to be. And it was like, it was me. And I just went back on and I told them what it was. I went, I've just been told... I can't name the medical centre because Janice might sue us. So I've got to say the medical centre. But what had happened is, I took like 10 people with me. Like me dad, me missus, Carl, me mate Josh and his missus, me cousin Dolly, and her mate. I took a few of my friends from London who sat separately. But all the people I first mentioned, they were sat at the back in one big group. And stood right behind them was Lander, who's my agent. And as I'm doing the doctor's routine, which I'm very happy that I get to still do it, but I'm half gutted because it went so well on the night. Yeah. I was like, that's going to be such a good Apollo set. Like, it could really be a thing. But Lander went running over to Carl I went to Carl, is Janice real? And Carl went, yeah, it's really, really funny, innit? And he was like, no, we're going to get sued. Yeah.
Will you be able to use that? Will they send you that footage so you can use it?
I don't think they will.
Yeah,
they'll be worried about who's put. They don't want to put out. They're not going to put out, do they?
Well, I love Anthony who does the Apollo. I think I've told you this story. It was really funny. I remember a friend of mine had just done it, and I think we're outside Seoul Theatre or something. I've known Anthony for quite a few years, and he goes, my friend goes, "I've just done the Apollo. That's the director of the Anthony. You want to go over and get in with him?" I went, "All right." I said. Yeah, I know Anthony. I went, "Hey, Anthony, will I ever be on the Apollo?" He went, "Fucking hell no, Phil. Not when you're on the Apollo, climbing the fucking furniture, climbing up the walls." I went, "All right." I said, "I can't give him anything. He can't give me anything. We're fine." I was like, "Don't worry. I've got..." He's not interested.
He's just a sound lad.
Yeah,
he really is.
Good.
Do you reckon you could be allowed to do the Apollo?
Me?
Yeah, not even allowed to do Wakefield, are you?
I'm not even allowed to do Wakey.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to tell us what happened there?
Don't know, just apply for the gig, get given the gig, sends over the bill, sends me another message. "Sorry, mate, not going to be right for the room." All right, sounds. Didn't even want to work on the 11th.
So have they told you anything else?
Nah, I don't bother. I'm not bothered. I said to myself on my Instagram stories, I look at most rooms and go, "I'm not right for this." Yeah, this isn't going to... They're not going to be happy with this. Going to do it anyway.
Comics just roll over for shit like this. Like, you should have absolutely boosted... He told me about that the other day. We drove back from Cardiff together. Just getting removed from the bill because they've, in post, they owe you that money. As far as I'm concerned, whatever that fee is, he owes you to cancel you. Yeah.
Get it on Chortle, mate. Do an angry tweet at 3 a.m. when you're pissed. And say it's because of the colour of your
don't
skin.
do Twitter.
Like the guy who books it, and I know who it is, I won't name him.
Yeah.
Do you do much for him?
No, not really.
Well, then what the fuck? What have you got to lose?
Well, I'm honestly just not that bothered by it.
Did he tell you the theatre cancelled you?
He just said, the venue got back to us. He sent over the bill and they said, I can't remember. What did he say?
How can they know? It's not like you... It's not like
everyone knows what's now, mate.
Yeah, but you haven't got like a huge online presence where they've found...
He's got one video, hasn't he?
I'm well known in Wakefield, mate.
The Wakefield Strangler, wasn't he?
What's it?
I'd be fucking fuming, me.
Yeah, you should at least find out what they've seen.
I know, because you've only got one video online.
Maybe it's just your personal.
They've replied that they are wary that you might not quite be right for our room.
It's Wakefield.
And if wary means, to me, if someone said, "Oh, they're wary," I'd say, "Tell them not to worry."
Yeah.
I did a gig once for the store at Epsom Royal Automobile Club.
Sounds like a good gig.
They'd have every right to pull you. But this is like they should have pulled me.
Yeah.
Wakefield is Wakefield, isn't it?
It's like you know, like you said, you know when you're not right for a room or a thing. And I remember
loads
that I'm not right for corporate gigs where you get paid big money to go and for the listeners at home to do like professional events and things. But yeah, I was like, God, I'm losing so much money. All these acts that are getting like $3,000 a gig or whatever, just $6,000 to go and host the fucking Hoover Awards 2021. And so then I'd do this. So then I'd said to my agents,
hoovering up all the money.
I need to do more corporates. I mean, I'm MC. I can do more corporates. I can host the thing.
IMC, sort of.
It's out of order, mate. I've started doing sets now, and I've seen some fucking dog shit MCs.
He wants to start again.
No, I'm not. No, I've seen some of the worst. Honestly, I'm probably still in the top 50. But anyway, and so I go, I want to do more corporates, and then I get booked for this afternoon gig by Phil Walker in Blackpool. At the Pleasure Beach. And my nana used to work at the Pleasure Beach, so my granddad. So I was like, this is fucking exciting. My nana was on the monorail, and so I'm sat at this table. They said it's an afternoon gig, starts at 12. It's not an afternoon, it's a corporate for entrepreneurs of Blackpool, but they've called it an afternoon gig, so you get
entrepreneurs of Blackpool.
So I'm getting a shit fee. Phil Walker's hosting. He's just working really hard, getting the room together, but they're all pricks, and they've been drinking since 11, champagne. So I get on about 3 o'clock eventually, and they're all fucking hammered. And I'm sat at the top table with the owner of the Pleasure Beach. And I'm like, they're going, yeah, my nana works. And she went, oh, how wonderful. I went, oh. And the lineup's just not right. You know, and you just go, I shouldn't be here. You've got acts that are just quite mainstream going on. And I have to go on in a bit. And I'm like, oh, God. So eventually I get on. I'm like second to last, I think. So I walk on, and they're like, hey. And there's a guy leaning on the stage. And I just went, oh, hiya, mate. Oh, look at you leaning on the stage. And he went, fuck off. And I went, oh, okay. That's the banter over. That's the banter section done. And I went, oh, look, you're like a cheeky chappy. And he went, fuck off. And I went, right. So I just stood at the microphone going, God, I'm lonely. Oh, my life's off. And then they all just start talking. And then they start booing. And I went, I need this more than anything. It's 12 minutes. I think I was doing 12 minutes and I'd lost them. So please. So then
how soon in had you lost them?
Literally from the start, walked out.
To fuck off.
The guy told me to fuck off. And he was always, and they were fucking, oh my God, I was getting angry. And I was like, you can't do it. You've got to do the gig. This is like a corporate. You do the corporate gig. This is professional. And nice little yawn there.
He's been yawning now. I know.
Fucking bagpuss.
He does it all the fucking He does it all the fucking time.
How are you expecting people to listen to this? You're launching a Patreon soon. Oh, get more top content.
Oh, God. Oh, I have to go on my phone.
Sitting there with your guts out, falling asleep yourself.
I was listening. I was trying to do it quietly.
You can do it quietly. I mean, have to fucking it's like a bear roar.
I'm a new dad. Leave me alone.
You're not.
I know. Yeah. I don't know how long you get to say that. So I just keep saying it until someone corrects me. Every time anyone says, oh, baby brain, mate. Like, did you get baby brain? Yeah, let baby brain, mate.
So, come on, let's...
So, go on.
Okay, well, I feel like I've lost momentum now.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
Anyways, so I'm doing the shit thing. And then they listen a little bit more. And then they all start talking again and booing. And I went, look, I'll take two noises. Absolute silence or fake laughter. I'm not having booing.
I'm
not having this.
I start up again, and then someone boos again. And I said, and I just lost my temper. I went, if anyone else boos, I'm going to get off this. I'm not like the other comics. I don't care enough. I'm going to get off the stage. I'm going to pick up a chair, and I'll take your fucking head off, right? So I thought that would be funny.
Yeah.
Start again. People laughed a little bit, and then
Fake
someone
laughed.
booed. So then I got off the stage and picked up a chair. And then just saying, who fucking booed? And then start walking around with this chair going, was it you? Was it you? And then I realised I have lost the room completely. And everyone's scared now.
Yeah.
But I thought that would be so ridiculous. It'd get everyone laughing. So then I went, I'm panicking now. And I got a chair in each arm like a weird Wolverine, like going, was it you? Like fucking Ripley at the end of Aliens. And so then I just sat next to the guy who first told me to fuck off. And I went, oh God, do you think we could be friends in another life? And he went, no, fuck off. And I went, it was called Entrepreneurs of Blackpool, that was it, yeah. And I went, just because you got fucking £20 socks on, don't mean you're better than me, pal. And then this old bloke in a blue suit went, at least he's funny. I went, I'll fucking knock you out as well, Grandad. I went, just because you're Febreze, a 1980s suit, doesn't mean I'm not going to drag you outside and duff you up. And I went, yeah, I said duff you up. And he went, oh, and then everyone starts booing. So I just got on the stage, I was going, fuck you. Entrepreneurs of Blackpool, you're a room full of fucking cobblers. Like, your main mode of transport is a donkey. And then they all booing and then I looked and they're off to. I looked and there was a Nolan sister telling me to fuck off. So I look at a Nolan sister. She was going fuck yeah. So everyone's booing and I went, say half hour. Anyway, that's my time. Keep supporting live comedy. And they had to take me through the kitchen because they all wanted to fucking kill me.
Did they? Yeah.
It was the worst, but it was one of those. When I went in, I was like, you can do it. You can do corporate. I remember just everyone's going, fuck off. And I got a chair and I went, no, you can't. No, you can't. Back on the road for you, Pip.
I remember
back to being a club comic.
I remember years ago, Paul, because you were really good mates with Paul Smith when you first started.
Yeah.
And he told me...
He doesn't want to know you now, he's famous.
You won't fit in the Lamborghini, mate. You're too long for it.
Yeah. When we joint one beat the frog. You can move me, tiny copper bird. You're drinking a keg.
We joint one beat the frog.
And you kept getting people trying to fight with you, and you told them, this just happens.
Yeah,
people just want to fight you all the time.
Yeah. Oh, God, that was years ago. Yeah, people always want to knock me out. I always think I'm being funny, but you forget that when you're not on stage with the mic, people just think you're a dick.
You lose the context. Yeah.
So I always think, I'll have a bit of banter. And then it usually ends with me getting punched off. I think I told you about getting knocked out last time.
Yeah, you told us when you Christmas time.
Oh, I haven't got any front teeth.
This happens a lot. This just happens.
No one wanted to fight you when I went out with you. I thought you were with me.
Yeah, because you're a face, mate, that's right.
Yeah.
We just sat outside a shop with a bottle of wine.
It was alright, wasn't it? Yeah. You enjoyed yourself.
Is that the last time you went out?
Yeah, we only been out once. Never again.
No, you've been out twice, haven't you? You didn't go out after the Lee as well, one time.
No. It was
just that was a... Well, we didn't go out, did we? There was nowhere to go.
We had to... It was
the 1 hour queue for walkabout. Went to walkabout. This is funny. There was me, Sean McLaughlin, and Phil, and then we're walking around. We go to walkabout about 1:30, and like, have you got a reservation? And we were just like, why the fuck would we have a reservation at 1:30 for fucking walkabout? So we just... What did we end up doing? The hotel foyer?
I had to sit in the foyer because you've only got... In that hotel, you've only got a sofa downstairs. But it got to the point that they actually said, do you want to use the other foyer, which is the foyer to the car park? So they just went, can you fuck off out? And he just sat here drinking.
Can you fuck off?
Yeah,
I tried to check into that hotel on Friday night this week. Admittedly late, it was like 12:30 at night because we'd stayed for like a couple of pints at the Glee. That's where we were at the weekend.
Yeah.
And I had an argument with a fella on the desk because he was just telling me I was already signed in. So I went, Adam Rowe, and he was like,
some anime fucking guy.
Some Japanese fella. He goes, are you at the Glee Club? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, right. He goes, so you have already signed in. You already have your key.
Where's he from?
I've got a fucking clue, mate. This is just exactly what he sounded like. And you weren't there, so you can't verify it.
No, can't.
he says, you have already signed in. And I went, no, I haven't. And he goes, no, you have. Look here. And I went, yeah, I can see a bit of paper with our signature on it, but that's not me. And he's like, well, somebody is. Are you not with anybody? And I was like, mate, I haven't signed and I'm not with anyone. Like, it's just not happening. So he rings his mate and goes, go and check the room. And there's someone in it. And he goes, there is somebody in the room. And I went, okay, what's happened here is someone has come in and you've given them my room. Yeah. But it's definitely not me. So he made me stay in a different room. And then I had to switch rooms the next day. And when I come down, he was looking at me like, you've definitely sort of swindled 2 rooms out of us here. It's just some random guy.
How do you do? I've never had the balls to do... You want to hear people just walking into hotels or nicking rooms or reservations or like going into clubs or getting it, pretending you're on the guest list. Never had the balls to ever do.
I do it all the time.
I heard about some people that go into hotels and just haggle.
Oh no, I've done that. Oh yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
You've haggled?
No, you can call up before and be like, "Do you have any rooms free tonight?" And they go, "Yes," and you go, "Okay, well, I know it's normally $120, but I can only afford £50."
Really?
And then they go, and it's like, do they want to give you? And then they'll normally go, "Oh, we'll do you this rate." And
I got actually kicked. I wasn't allowed in my hotel once because I wanted a key. He wouldn't give me a key. He went, "No, we keep the key." And I went, "Well, I don't need a key for the room." But no, that's not how we do it. I was like, "This is a hotel. That's what you."
So he had to let you in and out of your room every time.
Yeah. It's weird. I think it was because I got one of the cheapest hotels in London, and I don't think it's one that people use for good things.
Right. So
got the impression.
Pause.
Yeah. So, yeah. I wasn't too subtle there. God, when I was going to Hull, I remember going gigging in Hull, and they'd swapped me from Leeds to Hull, and it was less money, and I was like, I've got to get a hotel because I didn't have a car at the time. So I'm like, oh, fucking. So I did this gig in Hull, and I said to everyone at the gig, I was going, I'm staying at the Dorchester. And everyone went, ooh. I'm like, oh, is it a prostitute hotel? I could tell. It's like 20 quid. And they went, oh. And then I got in the taxi, and I went to the Dorchester, and he went, oh, I don't think that's open. I was like, oh, my God, it's going to be like fucking shining when I get out. When I get there, and it's just the annex bit's open. And then I go to sign in, and the girl's like, oh, hello. And then this old bloke is in a leather jacket and a shirt on. He walks behind he's chatting to the girl, walks behind the desk, and he's like, yeah, you're right. So I'm signing in. It's about midnight after the gig, like 11:30. And he goes, yeah, so what are you up to then tonight? I was like, oh, me? I went, oh, I'm just going to bed, And he went, oh, right. He said, yeah. I said, he said, Hull's quite a fun night out. I went, all right, I'm sure it is. All right, mate. And so I got an early train. He went, yeah. He went, believe that when I see it. Okay. And he says, I've got an early start. He went, all right, good luck with that then, mate. I went, all right. He went, yeah, it's not a bad night out. I went, oh, I said, some people were mentioning this other club. And he went, yeah, it's not a bad club. Yeah, good night out. Yeah, I fancy that. Okay. And then he gets the phone and goes, yeah, it's John. He says, come quick if I say it's John. Taxi for 2, please. And he books a taxi to the club and then put the phone down. I went, well, I've got to get to my room. He went, all right, well, they'll be here in 5 minutes. You go and put your bag in. I was like, what the fuck's happening? And then I sat in the room in the dark going, what the fuck am I going to do? And she went, oh, that was it. The girl then went, oh, wait, this is John, the caretaker. And I went, I'm going to go on a night out with the fucking caretaker now. What's
Did you?
No, so then I go in the room and I sit in the dark and he goes, Phil? And I sit in the hall. He's like, Phil! The taxi's here. And I went, what do I do? And I'm sat in the dark. And then he comes to the door. And then I hear keys jangle. I went, he's going to open the fucking door, isn't he? Because I'm ignoring him. And I'm just sat in the dark like this on the end of the bed. So I just went, oh, God. I went, so I can hear the key going in the lock. So I just went, oh, come on, let's go. I'm going on a night out with the fucking caretaker. He goes and picks up his mate on the way. I was just in this horrible nightclub for like an hour with the caretaker. What the fuck am I doing? Then I had to walk home.
Did you talk to him or just stand there, silent?
He just kept telling me that there was different parts of the room for different types of night that you want, which I kind of understood as terrible things happen in this club. He's like, yeah, different places for different types of night. You want to dance? You go to the dance floor. You want a drink? You're at the bar. And everything else, you stand at the back. And I was like, what is this place? I think I'll stand outside. So I managed to just go outside and basically chain smoke and eventually to walk home.
It's a bit worrying.
And then I got a pizza from my favourite place I've ever got a pizza from, Al Pacino Pizzas.
So did you think this caretaker wanted...
No, I think he's just a lonely bloke who just got
knows how to manipulate people.
Would find someone to go on a night out with at the club, at the hotel.
Just a lonely bloke who can spot other lonely blokes. And he goes, yeah, they want to go.
It's weird how you had how forceful he was, because he never actually...
It's weird how you know...
Why did you never say no?
I don't know, because I was a grown man. But I was like, well, this is happening.
There was that lad in there when we did Jason's gig that I think wanted you.
That fucker. He was so he was such a gobshite. Yeah. Like, accidentally. So we did Jason
He wanted to suck you off.
100%.
Yeah. In Newcastle, the
South Shields.
South Shields one,
But like, he put you up in a hotel in Newcastle in case you want to go for a pint, which we did. So we'd come back to the hotel so that we could, like, I had my laptop because I was watching like the UFC at the gig, so I was dropping that off before we went out for a pint in Newcastle. We're sat in the lobby having just one beer in the hotel before we go somewhere, and we're in a proper conversation. You know, when you're just having it was a serious one as well. It was like shop talk, like about work and what we was. And this fella just comes over, kebab in his hand, and goes, "Yeah, I know you. You're that Adam. Sits down. Can I sit here?" I like that. And he goes, yeah. And it's like, oh, so he's grinning here to here because he can just see that this fella's
just know that this guy's
right? Yeah. So he goes to me, yeah. He went to, I was at Summer in the Square, which was like a thing that me missus, Carl, and his missus went to.
Yeah.
In exchange flags and left behind the town hall.
I remember it, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you were there. And I remember you taking loads of pictures with your bird. And I was like, he looks like a fucking knobhead, him. And then he stopped talking. Then he just stopped talking. And I was like, there's no way you've interrupted our conversation to tell me you think I'm a knobhead. You can't have that little social skills. You can't. So then he's like, yeah, but then I followed you online and yeah, some stuff's funny. I was like,
some stuff.
Right.
He just wanted to have sex with you, mate.
Yeah, he did. And then he was making very obvious insinuations that. And then, he went, I'm going to go to the toilet. And I was like, you fucking arsehole. Because he definitely didn't even need the fucking toilet. He just had to leave me with this come for a minute. And then we left. And I got a DM on Twitter like 2 minutes later, didn't I? Going, do you mind if I come out with you? It's the lad from the lobby in the hotel.
He never made it out with us.
From the lobby.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he wanted to bum you. It's just fine.
Yeah. How did you leave it then? Did you just leave him in the lobby?
I was just quite sort of short with him. I was just like, anyway, mate, we're getting off now, so have a good one. In a bit. Bye.
Sign up to me Patreon.
Yeah, probs.
And you just abandon them.
You've got all this to come. They'll be all over you. All the crazy fans. Love it. You'll get loads of DMs.
We haven't got how many subscribers have we got now? 90?
Yeah, we got...
It's all right for 6 episodes, isn't it?
Numbers are sound. We're doing good numbers.
A couple of psychos in there.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of psychos in there already.
Yeah.
Every time someone DMs us, Sam.
Well, we were saying this, weren't we?
We weren't saying it. You were saying it.
I don't
Every
like
time someone
fans
DMs
necessarily.
us, Simon goes, why would you speak to us? Why? I don't get why you'd want to speak to us. It's like, because, we're funny. We're trying to be engaging. We're creating fans. I just don't. Why?
I just get a bit anxious about fans. Because to me, stand-up is I perform to strangers, make strangers laugh, leave, and then we never interact again, and that's the thing. Yeah. So when you then get... whoa!
It's weird, isn't it? Like in lockdown, I did these stupid.
You're
videos.
like that when anyone tries to be your mate, though, as well.
Probably, yeah.
I did those videos in lockdown, which were shit. Like they were just
they weren't. I told you on the last podcast, John, I love them.
But you get maybe 180 to 200 views a day, right? And I was like, oh, that's fair. It's just people clicking.
A day?
Yeah, well, I'd do one a day, didn't I?
Yeah.
So it'd be 180.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Each one would get that, which isn't great. But then you realise that those people are obsessed. So I'll have a day off and they'll be like, where? And you get messages going, where's the video? I'm like, what? The other video was me making a fucking bacon egg sandwich, mate. Are you that bothered about what I'm doing? To be honest, I'm drinking every day. Horrifically. If you want to watch that.
But I was one of the ones that would have, I never messaged you because I didn't know you that well. And I thought, I'm not messaging him about it. But I loved them. But I would never.
Your eyes then were like, I love them, Phil.
I never subscribed to anything.
I need them back.
Into a routine and stuff, and they do expect it. Like last week, so our Patreon episode, like it's scheduled for 6 a.m.
Yeah,
like to post. It's put on the internet the day before, and it's scheduled to go out then.
Ours goes a minute past midnight.
Yeah, Carl had fucked it up, and it's 6:03. We'd had like 15 messages going. There's the fucking thing.
Jesus Christ!
Does
that not terrify you?
Yeah. Do you know what was truly terrifying, right? So, and this is, we haven't really spoke about this on our show. We just sort of let it go away.
Yeah.
Was we did a mental health special because we were getting loads of messages about mental health and stuff, and like people struggling.
Yuck.
We got. I don't even think this is hyperbole. Thousands of messages from people going, I'm struggling, can we have a chat, sort of thing. Or
people, Samaritan's number is an automatic response.
And people, like someone was asking, basically, so people, the thing that bothered me was people were saying like, oh, your podcast is sort of keeping me going, it's keeping me sane. And like there's been nights where I've been like, I could kill myself. But I've just been like, do you know what? No.
Then I heard you do a funny Chinese accent. And call it your mate.
No, but people saying like, have a word comes out in the morning, I'll wait for that. I'm like, imagine if that was the day that it was fucking 3 hours late.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean? So I said to Dan,
I was
like, look, I know it's hard, but like if we're, we need to stop talking about mental health. I know you're meant to like be open and talk about your stuff and that. I was like, but I can't handle this. There was people, like some lad was messaging me.
It's your mental health, thinking about their mental health.
It was unbelievable. Like some lad was messaging me and he, like, I shouldn't laugh, but he was like, I was going, mate, yeah, big fan, love the pod and that. Do you know anywhere I could get 500 quid from tonight? Because my ma's got no lecky and they're knocking on the door for a rent and we're going to be homeless. So just wondering whether you know of any avenues I could use to get 500 quid. And I was like, have you tried the crisis loans? And he's like, yeah, tried them, mate. Just need 500 quid tonight. Because otherwise I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was like, I don't call the Samaritans, like call the NHS, call fucking someone, but stop DMing me. He was basically going, if you don't send me 500 quid now, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
But then I went on his
Twitter.
I
did that with Vodafone.
I don't get, if you do unblock me number.
To the point now where they won't even put me through to the managers now if I say I'm going to kill myself. Like, this bill's too much. I can't afford it. I will kill myself if you don't lower this. They go, well, there's nothing we can do. Like, I've done the suicide threat twice. It worked the first time. Second time, didn't even get past the first guy.
I went on the fella's profile who was doing that to me, and he was tagging like major celebrities, saying like, I've DM'd you, check your DMs at Ricky Gervais. And he's obviously messaging him going, hey Ricky, do you know anywhere I can get 500 quid from tonight?
At Russell Crowe. Talking about Liverpool, I fancy a drink. It's mad though, isn't it? Because like, you don't think, like, because you guys have got loads of Patreons and things now, but I can imagine that's because they almost feel like they own you in a way as to go, where's our product?
There's a lot of entitlement, and the stuff they're paying for, I get it. Do you know what I mean? They're entitled to it when we say they're going to get it. Like, that's fair enough. And I also like the fact that we are helping people with their mental health. If we are, great. But it was messing with my head, knowing how much we were affecting it. If people are not being
of course,
hyperbolous or whatever.
So much pressure on you that, like you say, someone makes a mistake and then you're thinking,
the problem
I haven't heard from someone.
I wouldn't be. It wouldn't. But
mental health.
Well, there's nothing you can do. At one point, you have to go. There's nothing I can do.
Because you don't do nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. But like,
there's literally nothing he could do because he wouldn't have to put the episode out. So he'd be like, fuck it, it's Rob's fault.
I'll just send you a voice note.
The thing about
he's dead. You're
mental
fucked
health
up.
is dealt with so badly now, I think, because I've grown up around mental health all my life, surprisingly. And the whole thing of pushing it now, going, let's all talk about mental health, let's all talk, is great. You should, if you're feeling depressed. But in the same respect, it's not then, people then don't talk about it in a way that they can be helped. It's just literally going on Facebook and going, I'm so sad, I've done it again. And then everyone goes, you're such a valuable person.
Fine,
and then they send them a gif of a fucking rainbow and some other fucking thing about he's a snowflake, you're special and unique as this. And you go, right. And then tomorrow morning, I've done it. And you go, every fucking day. It's the same thing. You need to get help. And you can't get help from people just doing that little fucking emoji of cuddling a heart, going, I care. And you care. Because people do care, but then eventually you go, I can't fucking reply to that Facebook post again. You need to go and get help. And like you say, coming in, going to you or Dan saying, without this, I've got nothing. You go, well, then you need proper help because we can't be your safety blanket. I think if you need help, you should ask for help. But there's certain people don't want help.
I think if you put a status on Facebook like that, I don't think you're asking for help. I think what you're doing is giving people, because all that'll happen then, I think most people will see that and go, oh, you're okay, mate. And no one will actually try and help you.
There's a difference.
There's a difference between trying to help someone and going, you're okay, mate. Like,
and there's a difference between suffering from really bad depression and being sad. Yeah. There's a big difference. Yeah. We all get sad. Depression is a much more devastating thing. And a lot of people can't separate the two. They don't understand what the difference is. They go, oh, I'm depressed. And you go, you're not depressed. You're sad because you don't fucking do anything.
Until you've been depressed, I don't think you'll ever understand.
Also, you're just a bit of a prick. But some people are just pricks. They're sad because they don't, because they're going, oh, life's bad. Yeah, because you've made loads of bad decisions. I'm a prick.
And also, some people are like, suffering.
I'm really sad with the consequences of my own actions.
Suffering doesn't absolve you of blame either.
Yeah.
Like, as bad as things can get, like there's a way, like some people just start treating people in their life fucking awfully because they're anxious or depressed or whatever, and then like, I was going through some bad shit. That's not an apology. What has to come there is, I'm really
good
fucking sorry.
Sometimes if you need it, it's a good little one. I'm not saying that you should. I'm not saying it's good, but it is there, isn't it? You've done something inexcusable. You go, he's having a tough time. I'm having a tough time.
You after the wedding, was it last week? Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. I was just going through a tough time.
Like you said, that's not enough. You need to say, I'm really sorry. I'm going to try and change and be better.
I'm going to address why I was going through a tough time.
Yeah, I've thought I was depressed before, and then I've realised I've just been a prick. I'm making loads of bad decisions. I'm not happy about what I'm doing. I'm letting people down. And like you say, it's easy to go, I'm stressed. But you have to just go, But then also, and that's the problem when people really are depressed and sad. They're getting neglected and ignored because there's too many fucking attention seekers going, what about me? I don't want to get a full-time job. I'm an artist,
Everyone's scared to make a joke after the mental health.
I think it's interesting chat. I like listening to his inspirational spiel. I've ruined it by butting in.
I really think we should cut all of that as well.
I'll cut that if you tell us the other story.
No, but it's frustrating, isn't it? I just think because I just think it is tough, but you've got to do stuff.
Yeah, it's upsetting because
be proactive.
Yeah.
Well, it's good for getting out of work and that.
You've got a bit about it, innit? Just say I'm depressed. I know people.
Easier to fake that than a broken leg sort of thing.
Yeah. I know people.
Like, it's just like, why not? The employers will see you off. They don't give a fuck about you.
Well, I'll be honest. My missus, obviously, we just had a baby. She had 9 months off for maternity leave, and she only got paid for like 6 of them. And I was saying, as soon as you go, just go back in after 6 months and go, oh no, I'm too anxious. I'm too anxious and stressed. I need time off. And then get another 3 months full pay. Because you can get 3 months full pay saying, yeah.
But then there's probably people that are signed up with depression that aren't depressed, and people that are going in that are fucking on the edge, but they're still sticking it out. But they're the ones that go, I've had enough.
Proper thoughts, proper suicidal thoughts, yeah. Oh, it's a terrible way to
When does your tour start, Adam?
Got summer, didn't it?
I know. Fucking hell, was he?
Selling well, though, isn't it?
It's doing all right, yeah.
Flying.
Absolutely flying.
4 dates in Dublin, 4 dates in Chester.
No, two in Dublin, 4 in Chester, 3 in Manchester, and 3 in Birmingham, 2 in Leeds, and 2 in Newcastle, 2 in Glasgow, 2 in Edinburgh.
Are your family from Dublin? Have you got family from some connection?
I've told people before that they are.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah. I was just thinking it was interesting that there's so many dates in Dublin.
No, just the two. The first one, so Dublin, there's 2 spaces in the room. So I'm doing Whelan's, and there's a small room and a big room. And when we put the date in, I was like, let's get the big room. Because Dublin's been like requested by a lot of the podcast listeners and stuff.
Yeah.
And they went, you can't have the big room. It's not going to sell. You're English. We just don't sell tickets for English people. And I think it took
I love that sort of like, did you not just write back to them? I'm Scouse, not English.
I wanted to. And Ellis was like, I'm not though. Like,
how long did it take? Because I think a lot of people are fucking fascinated by the success of a word.
A lot of people, I think, feel means himself.
No, a lot
of people wonder how the fuck you are so successful.
No, but I don't understand podcasts particularly myself because I don't listen to podcasts. I don't. Right. I don't just watch normal.
You listen to this one?
Or no.
Yeah.
Listen to one Amazon. But
and the rest.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, fucking great. Really, another one. But I found it fascinating to see how that really grew and has pushed you and Dan to the point. You know, you can sell out tours like that now. Yeah. But how long did it take do you think, to get to that point?
It was open in the studio.
Right.
So we started it in January. A lot of people think it was a lockdown podcast. It wasn't. It started in January 2020. And we'd been planning it for 2 months. So we started like putting it together in November 2019. And then about 9 weeks in, 10 weeks in, coronavirus was like a thing and it was starting. And Italy was in lockdown. Right. But at the time, it seemed so far from reality for this country to be locked down. And that seems mental now because we're now in a situation where if they announce one tomorrow, surprise, people will be like, oh, another one of them.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
But it at the time, it was like, this isn't going to happen. So me and Dan as a joke was like, well, if we get locked down, we'll just do this every day. We'll do an episode every day. Thinking, I think we ended up with like 3,000 listeners by episode 12 a week.
Right.
So
were you doing it every day?
No, not at that stage. So episode 12 was when the lockdown hit. Or might have been 13. And then people were literally messaging us going, so we're going every day, aren't we? You are doing it every day because you did promise you'd do it every day if we got locked down. So we started doing it every day apart from Sundays.
Right.
God's day.
But that, we didn't actually grow at all in that time. We actually lost a bit. So
I thought you'd grown that.
No, so we went from doing, well, we technically did grow per week, but not per episode. Right. So we went from doing 3,000 an episode.
Yeah.
To between 12 and 1,800 an episode.
Right.
But there was 6 a week. So you don't know whether people were just going, I listen on Mondays and Thursdays.
Yeah,
like, whatever.
That's when I bowed out for a bit because I was like, there's too much Rowe and Nightingale in my life.
Yeah. And it was difficult to have an entertaining conversation for an hour every day with the same person. It's hard to do that.
You started doing lists.
Yeah. There was just like stuff. Like, obviously, there was people struggling a lot more. I'm not saying we had difficult lives, but it's not an easy skill to be like, let's be funny again, me and you for another full hour today. Let's go.
Telling me you can barely do it for every fucking week.
And then that's when we launched the Patreon, and we were like, look, we'll do it every day, but we're going to need some money because otherwise we're going to have to get fucking jobs.
Yeah.
and we got a decent Patreon following sort of straight away, where we could justify not getting jobs, using a bit of savings, and using the money from that to.
Did you have a bit of You had a bit of profile though yourself, didn't you, before this?
My small profile, well, it was decent size.
Like 15,000 followers or something like that.
I think I had like maybe 18 on Twitter and like 10 on Instagram. Yeah. But I've always had like 40 plus on Facebook from videos going back.
Yeah, you've been live Bible on that, haven't you?
That must have helped a little bit to
it gave us a boost. Our first week we did 500 downloads.
Right, that's
same as us.
Did it?
You do not listen to anything. But go on, yeah.
So the Patreon kept us going, and then when we were coming out of that first lockdown, we'd talked for ages about getting a studio, and I knew a place where we could look to get one, which is where we ended up. And we were like, should we just back ourselves now?
Yeah.
Buy the studio, do it up, be the first in the UK to do that, and we can put full video episodes on YouTube, because up until then, the first one in the studio, none of it went on YouTube apart from the odd little short clip.
Oh, I thought your lot of Zoom things were on YouTube.
No, that's interesting, because I the only things I really watch are like Red Letter Media on YouTube, which is just these film. Have you seen it? Like, they're really funny, like film critics and nerdy shit that I like, you know. But the whole thing of these, and then I started to see these YouTube people who build their own studios. They do it. But then what's interesting, some of them kind of get the studio and then it looks like shit or something. They don't quite, whereas yours looks like a proper you know, but I mean, like, they don't, I mean, no offense, Danny, but this is, okay, you really need to have a word with yourself. But fucking looks like, I feel like I'm in a Chinese buffet. But it looks like a you know, like you said, like a Tier 5 Friday field to kind of like.
Well, I definitely think it's that studio is. I think that's the big, because like yours wasn't like it's like a chat show.
Yeah,
it's not like a podcast thing where it's like it's more of a show that you're putting on than just like a podcast thing like this.
And I was saying this to him the other night. If you're, because we put a lot of clips out now. We used to do like 1 or 2 a week, but since we've hired a full staff team and everyone's got their roles, we try and get at least 1 out every day, and sometimes 2. But like, if people are scrolling through their social media, as soon as our clip starts, you know what it is. Because it's so aesthetically the same every week and looks completely different to anything else. There's so many podcasts now and so many video podcasts that are shot in office buildings or rooms like this where they're playing wall thing or whatever.
Told you to decorate.
It needs to look so unique, and it does because of our decorator behind it.
He's got 2 here, by the way.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know that one's different from the other unless you can just about see the NFL
I completely understand, but we're not going to be doing that straight away, are we, mate?
That's what I find fascinating. What's interesting is because it's got an identity.
Big bright orange couch against the blue curtain. Yeah,
and everyone's trying to scrabble around to find someone they can get on with and have a chat with to try and recreate it. Now, everyone says you've got to do a podcast now. I go, oh, fucking what am I going to... And I started trying to think of people I would work well with. And it turns out there's no one.
I'll do one with you, and here you're sitting.
He offered, and I was like, "You've got one, I'm on."
Yeah, I'll do another one. He's got 2. Fuck him.
He's got a cob on because I do too. So he just wants another one.
Yeah, just but it would be awful because I don't think
neither of you would do any of the work.
No, because I don't think I'd work well like that. I just don't think I would. Whereas I don't know who I'd bounce off well. So, but it's interesting to see so many copycat kind of things. Since Have a Word did well.
Well, we've had a few messages from comics who are mates of ours, and also from a couple of promoters who were a bit like, fucking hell, they're copying you, aren't they? Are you being copied again over there? We want it to happen because, and this is not me sort of being sort of...
Literally called another one because it's just...
Yes, I know you're self-aware, but also this has...
Like,
it's not right.
If every comedian, or a lot of them, have got podcasts like they do in LA and New York, the means of production is being dragged away from the comedy industry and back to the worker, because you look at our podcast now, like, I know we had Alfie Brown co-host last week because Dan wasn't in, and he sold a shitload of tickets for his tour because he plugged it on our thing. If it's dragging it away from the telly. If this podcast takes off and Rob's Footy One does and Damn Daniel does and Catherine Bowart and Helen Bowers, Trusty Hoggs does, and Alfie's does. If there's a full scene, if there's a podcast scene in the UK where when I'm going on tour, I can jump on them all and go, I'm going on tour, and we can all do that for each other, it's better. So, yet this studio come about after ours, and I'm sure it was sort of partly inspired by what we did. Great. Because if that gets massive, a rising tide raises all ships. And we've had a few sort of snarky comments from promoters like, they're copying you. I'm like, yeah, good. We want it to, it benefits everyone, including us. And at the same time, we've got such a massive head start, and we've got the right infrastructure and a staff team. So as much as everyone else is, we want everyone else to have a podcast that's doing well, it's going to be hard to catch up to the numbers we've put on the board already.
It's not even about catch up to it, like you say. It's just about everyone. If you want to be a comic, this is the job now.
Yeah.
People want content. People want content all the time. You couldn't put 20 years ago, you couldn't put content out every day. So if everyone wants to see you, they had to come. The only way they could get to you was the tour show or when you're on the telly. Whereas now, people want to see you every day. People are fans of yours. They want to see you every day. So unfortunately, that's the job. So you need to put content out now all the time.
And another thing is there's a huge divide now. There's no sort of medium form content that's thriving. It's either really long form like podcasts or really short form. And I think something that's benefiting us massively is we have somehow managed to get both.
Yeah.
Because every day we put a 1 minute clip out. And if you're just into 1 minute comedy clips, you can get a funny bite-sized bit every day from Have a Word. And if you want a 3 hour podcast, you can have that as well.
That fucking, just me getting angry got shitloads of hate.
Well, last time I checked, it was 70,000. It's probably 90,000 now.
I've put out well-crafted stand-up, and you pricks has got like 1,000. Because people can't be asked to see.
I get more views on crowd work than I do on stand-up.
More people have seen you.
I can't put crowd work up. I just can't bring myself to.
More people have seen you moaning about comics not quitting than saw your well-crafted Edinburgh Award-winning pilot.
But that's
maybe tell a story. Right, anyway, let's call it.
It's interesting, that. I appreciate it.
It's brilliant.
Because I do find
what you should do is take inspiration from it. Because you're a brilliant comic and you're holding yourself back by not putting yourself out there.
Well, that's why I'm talking about it, because I'm trying to think, how would I do? I couldn't do that. I don't think I could do.
Well, you can be a you can be another host.
You've been twice. You've been on here. You've been brilliant.
I haven't been brilliant today, have I?
No, he hasn't been that good, but
keeping your depression well hidden
and justifying Hitler.
Yeah. No, I wasn't. I was saying.
Right. Let's call it a podcast. On that, I found it very inspirational. Go and read the Rowie Manifesto.
What was he going to say?
Hey, we can save it for next time.
He cut me off, didn't he?
You can save it for next time.
Simon, do you want come with me? Let's do a podcast now. You and me. Forget him. Don't look at him. Look at me. No, don't look at him. He'll turn you. Come on. Just keep walking.
Who's going to do the work? Who's going to do the work?
Can I plug something?
Of course you can.
I've got anything. Forgot.
Fine, Phil Ellis. I am Phil Ellis.
I'm Phil Ellis. I'll buy my fucking sitcom on Penguin Audio.
You can do your Morrison's jingle.
Have you got a sitcom on Penguin Audiobooks?
Yeah, I've got the 3 series.
Do your Morrison's jingle I like before we go.
Oh, he done that at the gig on Friday.
Did he?
Do
it again?
Someone works at Morrison's.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
So the idea is it's Morrison's jingle, okay? This is going out to all the CEOs of Morrison's. So we start off, it's got the guy out of Oliver that does with the hat on and the stick who goes, more? So someone comes over and goes, is there more? And he goes, more? More? Morrison's, never before has a store offered more. And you get loads of fucking turkeys jingling down the aisle and carrots.
You're 4 weeks till Christmas adverts come out. Well, 2 weeks probably.
More reasons to shop at Morrison's.
What one's that to the tune of?
Oh, it's just their old jingle.
You encouraged him to do that and I never laughed when he done it.
Morrison's.
I like it.
It's good, isn't it?
Well, this is the last time he was here. No. He said, I never got to do my jingle, and now he has.
Great. We'll clip that up and we'll send it to Morrison's.
Copyright.
Right, pretty sure everyone knows where to find you, but tell them anyway.
Adam Rowe Comedy on Twitter, Adam Rowe Comedian on Instagram, just Adam Rowe on Facebook, and adamrowe.co.uk/shows for tickets.
Not an anime man.
Your tour is everywhere, and adamrowe.co.uk to get tickets then, yeah?
Yeah, I'm adding more and more as we can, because I missed loads of major cities off because I was just lazy with it because I'm doing it myself.
Yeah.
So Aberdeen, people are like, where the fuck's Aberdeen? I'm like, oh, I'll figure it out. And Bristol and the very south, like the further south, I'm going to London, and people are like, why not any further?
Portsmouth.
Yeah. You should, as a Scouser, you should know that's annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
Like when people go, oh yeah, we're just doing Manchester. I'll do the north.
No, it's not that. It's just like I don't know anywhere in Bournemouth, and Brighton's now not comedian anymore.
Yeah, I get it.
Or not Crater. So it's been hard to find the suitable size venue because I'm not doing 1,000-seaters. It's not like I can go to the main theatre of that city and go, can I put a thing on in your 2,000
seater? You have to find the smallest room.
It's the room. 400 or 500 seaters we're looking for, and first of all, they're very highly in demand, and second of all, they're I don't know where they are.
Hasn't Larkin got a Bournemouth gear that seats a few hundred?
Bournemouth has, but yeah, it's just a function room. When he wants a proper tour. Right, so Adam Rowe, the UK tickets. Check out Have a Word. Obviously, I'm pretty sure everyone who listens to this probably already listens to Have a Word. But if you don't, it's brilliant. Me and Simon have both been on it. It's a very good podcast. It is the inspiration for probably most podcasts you're listening to right now. Thanks for setting the way. Thanks for leading the way. Thanks for being on again, Phil.
Always a pleasure.
Can't wait till you're on again. Right, ta-da.
Bye.
See ya.
When the couple